Alright, so a quick rundown, we've got the light on, is no more flooding. I had to deal with that fucking shit. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. I'm like, why is there freaking water coming out of the wall here? And all of that. Anyways, the quick rundown of things at this moment is so here we are. We're on the reassembly of the new short block, which we had running, and the problem was it just did not have any power. I mean, I got on it full pedal down and I'm like, this just does not seem right. As I'm going back through everything that's happened, the teardown, the reassembly, the block, the build-up, the original assembly. And so, before I had blown the engine, there's nowhere to sit right here. If I go further back, then, what it was, it was like, oh, it's actually going, it's got power, and I can press the freaking gas pedal down and it goes. And that's partially how we blew the bearings, aside from the fact that the pickup was clogged. But that, with the power, caused the failure. It was not, I don't think it was entirely clogged. We were still getting oil delivery, but it was enough to where the power and everything combined together caused the failure. Which is where we're at right now. Where last time we did this, the block was too cold, and now we have the thermostat, 56 degrees. That's too cold. We need it 65 minimum. And so, what happened was when we did the silicone for these spots, it seeped into the oil, and then eventually it hardened and got pushed through the oil pan into the pickup, and it was literally in the mesh where it had dried up. And so, that's where the original engine blew. And at that time, it had the power that was pretty normal for not going into boost. Once boost came on, then okay, yeah. But it wasn't tuned. It was the baseline configuration for the ECU map, and we did the brand new from the factory short block, which is this, where we threw it in, started up, and was really going through the tuning, and it just did not have any power. It was not the same. And I could not figure out what the fuck was going on. And so the conclusion of that issue is that the valve seals were leaking oil into the cylinders because at that time when we pushed too much boost through the whole system, it blew out those valves. Because when you have all the pressure coming in here through the intake, you have the intake valve seals where when they open, they're exposed to that pressure. And so that, plus the mileage and the wear and all of that, adds up to the conclusion where that boost pressure leaks into the head, because that's what this is called. This is the head on the Subarus. You've got two heads on each side, because normal car has one head, and so it's kind of confusing. But anyways, through these valves, it will... Okay, I'm not sure exactly where it left off, but here we have our intake. All the boost pressure is going in here. We've got 20 pounds of boost going straight into it, right? And so over here, the valve seals are under the valves here. And this is the head, and it's all pretty well sealed. I'm sure there's seepage somewhere, but for the most part, the entire head and crankcase, because this is part of the crankcase. If we go over here, you can see that these oil passages this is for the oil drain. We have exposed spots where it's just open for the head to drain oil straight into the oil pan, where all of this can just gravity drip down. And that's typically how the system works. You've got your oil pickup and it pushes it into the lines, and then over here you can even see it. The open spot here, there's an open spot there, and then down here there's a spot that goes to the pan where it runs down through here to the pan. And then this is the oil pickup where it sucks it in, pushes it into these holes, and feeds it out through this rail up there, this rail right here, where it spits out the oil to cool off the cams, to lubricate the cams, and just so things don't catch on fire. So you're getting oil in here, a pretty decent amount, I would assume. I don't know, maybe one day we can test that, but the oil gets in here. Now we have that pressure from the oils being sprayed in here on top of the intake, 20 pounds of pressure blowing out these seals on the valves, and we have that pressure pushing the oil out through whatever means it can escape. So when the intake valve opens, the oil just goes straight into the piston. When the exhaust cam opens, the oil just goes straight into the piston. And so when these valves fail because the air pressure, boost pressure, is looking for any way to escape. And so the valve seals failing on both ends, you're having that air pressure pushing on the oil that's getting sent from the oil pressure as well. So oil is going straight into the piston, and you should have signs of it on the top side of the intake, and it'll be dripping out of the exhaust, which we 100% had oil dripping out of the passenger rear, this one. And so I knew once it was all torn down that this was the issue. Because originally when I did that, I'm just like, oh, it's a little bit of a oil leak, it's not a big deal, brush it off, we're going to run it. But after everything happened, tearing this thing back out and tearing it apart, and really thinking about how that affects everything, you're going to have basically a cylinder loss, because maybe you're getting fuel and air in there, but at the same time it's all escaping, so you're down on power and all these things. which were telltale signs of what was going on once everything was said and done. I mean, not until you actually tear it down and verify that, yes, that's it, can you know, but it's like, hey, you've got a serious power loss, you've got oil coming out of the exhaust, and that's the two main things. And it's funny because you can ask ChatGPT this or something like that, Google search it, whatever, and you're not going to get that answer. Because it's not that common of a thing. First of all, the fact that it's a modified engine, you have to take that into account. And so the fact that it's modified is also like, hey, we've got these physics and engineering dynamics that you have to actually think about. It's not just like, hey, we throw a turbo on and go, and it's normal, we diagnose it like a normal engine, because it's not. And so these dynamics of physics that you have to actually think about, oh, we have pressures, we have lubrications, and all of that type of stuff comes into account. And so I'm having a conversation with someone about what's going on, and they don't have a fucking clue. And it's funny because you can't just, that's the kind of thing you can't just, oh, this is it, it's diagnosed, it's solved. That's not how it goes. I need a 17, but I don't see one. And I'm doubtful that I have one. I have an actual 18. The 15's not it, right? Correct. It must be out. It's gotta be somewhere. Yes, because I do the freaking oil with it. The oil plug, which is right here. I'm not doing a whole lot. Later on I will be. We're trying to warm it up as well. So that's why the heater's running. So that I can actually do this stuff. But it has limited effect on it so far. It should reflect. But yeah, that's the only thing I can actually come to think of and really identify, hey, this is what's wrong. Because everything else I'm just fucking clueless on. Like, I have no clue. I was sitting there running through the tune and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? This doesn't make any sense. It does not feel like the car's response is the same as it was. And I was thinking about this block. I'm like, the short block's not the same. This is the later 2016, but it's the same. And I'm like, well, what's really different here? There's some emission shit on it, which I don't actually know what that is. But the short block should be identical because they don't produce the original short block anymore. This is some R dot shit that I don't have a freaking clue about. Not the slightest clue. So our head is on both sides. It's sealed. We should have it compressed at this point. We've got our high-end gasket. I think it's going to be the Tomei gaskets from now on. I might have to order some additional ones. I still have this other engine to do. We did drop it, so hopefully that's not an issue. The head fell off of the chair. And if so, yeah. It bent this in, and I bent it back out with a pry bar. Making sure that if this cap rotates, it's not interfering with anything. It probably would have. We have a notch there, which is obviously where it happened. But limited options. Okay, so here we are. Nothing was on before anything else. Where are they? There they are. This entire garage needs cleaned out, but fuck, we could be moving, and then everything has to get moved at the same time. It's a fucking packed here. Oh, this is nice and warm. Oh yeah, all of it is. Let's check the actual temperatures. The block is 66, the head is 67. Then 65. 64, 63, somewhere in there. Okay, so I was thinking if I could get a light right here. Then that would just be great. So, do I have a measuring device somewhere? It's typically over here. The seals, that's the thing. Let's grab these two chunky ones here. Just mop it up, huh? Just so that I can get this line out here. Why am I gonna measure something? Come on. Those plates are not gonna be in it. What I need is one straight edge. I have no clue where it's at. It should be here though. But it's not. So the odds are it's over here?
Most likely it's on the table. Flat. Under all this shit, but I don't actually see it. There's more.
Okay, anyways, let's do this. It's not entirely necessary. Can I stop? Nothing to squeeze through there. I don't think that's the right size. It's definitely where we want to be. Oh, I grabbed this one. Leave the head for this. Where we shall put it. Shit show. Oh my my dreams that are far and far, far away, that will never be reached, attained, or even within the slightest bit of possible. The world that we live in. Welcome to it. Twelves. Is this what I want to be doing? Well, it's all I've got. So, I don't have an option. Not anymore. Because the world is limited. Oh my gosh. The fucking limited world we're in here. Okay, so these can actually be trashed. Take it easy, you don't need to like fucking gorilla this shit around and then send the driver's side head flying because it's not stable and there's not enough space around here to actually have stability like that. And it's fucking dim. It's a lot better than what it was 4 years ago. That's for sure. But it's not that great. Honestly. Like 30 by 48, maybe. Maybe. We say that. Okay, we need surfacing tools. Tools to deal with the surface. It's already clean, prepped, and all of that. See, I'm sitting here thinking at this very moment, do I want to this is the one we need for important stuff later, which should go with that important stuff. That will be later. Which can go over there. We did not use the torque device, apparently. I cannot put that on until the clutch goes on. What the hell would it even is this? Something from Amazon. Oh, the Milwaukee crap. Perfect. Whatever. I don't even care. These are just trash at this point. You even know why people. Now, we're getting to the possibility of having actual space here to do stuff. Oh, we're not even using this. We put it up and then what? Are we live? Maybe not live, but we would call it up. I need air, 100%. look at what is going on over here, where I'm cleaning this up a bit, moving things around, trying to free up this space. So that I can deal with that. I don't know if there's air on there, I'm pretty sure. Where's the rag? Over here. Can you? I like it, but that doesn't mean I'm done. I think it's good enough. And so, before we actually do anything, we want them top and bottom. And then, check the camera. Because you know how many times I have actually done video of the wall and not actually making any progress with video, and then it's just like, fuck, whatever, I'm not even going to try to deal with it. See, I wanted to leave silicone around here so that it could seal, and it did. Well, we're fucking committed at this point. Shit, I just put silicone on. I need to verify everything's on here. We can put the head on, yes. Can you fucking work? Or you're gonna get fired. Ooh, is that oil? Motherfucker. Oil's the worst thing I can have on here. I should have fucking put the silicone on there and not on here. Well, let's just test it, huh? About those Q-tips, huh? It'll be fine, right? If I press down on it, it's gonna emulate it getting pressed on there, so. And it feels like it does not want to move. I got it on here and it's like, shit, I want to pull it off to check that seal, but hey, this is where we're at. So, might as well commit, right? Like, once you go on a date with that fat girl, well, you realize you're never going to be with that hot girl anyways. So you might as well just come in. That's a fucking joke. There is someone for everyone though, in that context. Not everyone is for everyone else. Some people are into certain things and other people are not into certain things. And so people are into the hot chick, then let them be into the hot chick. Don't sit there and be like, beauty standards. I should fit beauty standards because I'm being left out. That's not how the fucking world works. People have TV personalities for a fucking reason. And some people like dealing with those type of people as a partner. It's different for everyone. Some people like a girl that comes home and bitches all day because they're so hot and get to hear about all their problems constantly. each its own, to each its own. I was just telling someone about that yesterday. How they think they're into someone that they're not. Do we want to paint these valve covers? See, originally, when I got this back together and the oil was coming out of the exhaust, I was like, shit, maybe I fucked up the seals on this for the valve cover. And I'm like, I don't want to pull the engine out, I'm just going to ignore it. So that's not what happened at all. So we were going to spec and torque. I think we're about 10 thousandths. 25 on the exhaust side. I'm pretty sure it's tolerant. And then 10.25 millimeter. And then 0.1 millimeter on the intake. Make sure they're not sandwiched together because that happens. It rolls. I think it's good. Once we torque it a little bit. Torquing is on. To 13.3. Hold on, can I do this? Let's find out. If we put this on here. Zoom out some. Put this on the torque wrench. Okay, dude, you're getting fucking annoying at this point. Just fucking work. Why is it going through a million different menus? Switch to a different torque spec. Well, the power button doesn't do it. Whatever, we're at the top of the list. If we go up, it'll roll over real quick. 8, 9, 10, 13, stop fucking escalating. What the fuck is it doing? Went into the freaking menu of whatever the bullshit is. Yeah, I did it again. It switched to 20 fucking 4, you piece of garbage. I'm about to put this under him. It's at 13.5 at this moment. No, it shuts off from the tension. Because it's fucking retarded. Piece of garbage. These Harbor Freight torque adapters are the worst. We don't need a big wrench, so... And it shuts off again every fucking time. We're gonna go star pattern. That one's done top side. Pretty sure it just slipped off. I think those are a bit looser. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, I do not like that. That one is just way too far. Do I have a container full of these? Question. Bottom of the plastic bag. Maybe these are it. Yes. They say there's a marking on them. 225 is what I got here. Nine, 209. That one will work. $225. $215. $238. $212. $240. 214. What do I want to bring it to? 215 or 214? Let's see. I wonder if I can do this. Guys, it smells like beef jerky. Beef jerky can smell good, but it can also smell like an old man's butthole. The magnet's going to be the easiest way out. Power to this. We're not pulling them all the way off, we're just popping it up. $209. We're gonna do the 14. fingers. It's vacuumed on this fucking thing. Ugh. Why is this a problem? Okay, that's the problem. This one's too tight. Way too tight. Make sure this side's down. I just do not want that slapping. What else do we have? We've got the 15, which is like minor. There's 30. 30 is way too much. 30 is too much. 20. 14. Check 15. 12. 25. 30. 26. So that's what we got. Is it going to be a 25 or 15? Let us see if we've got anything else. There's one floating around in here. A couple of them. $18, that's gonna be it. And 15. Any more? These are from the FB valve train. And they're the same shims. So that's what we want. What's the fucking phone gonna say? It's not a phone, it's a camera. This is the quick and easy valve shims for the FA series engines. So we put the shim under here for the 0.10 2000s, and it's not clearing, or it's going in there too easy. And so what we want is a bigger one. That's what she said. We've still got to get that bolt. And so, if we just loosen those and pull this out, and then grab the shim out, then we can put the new one in. On the side there's a label that says 214. And these numbers indicate the size. We're putting a 218 in there, which was originally a 209, and it still was not up to spec. And so this should give us the tolerance we need. The seal's new on here, and so this is after we've just done the silicone. Instead of having to pull everything apart to do this. Oh yeah, it is not going in there. You can roll this and it'll pull it under. That's how you know it's right on. It is perfect. It's just enough space to where if you turn the cam, it'll pull this 0.1 millimeter shim under the cam. And so the bottoms are not the same. That's the intake. The exhaust side, this should go under it, no problem. Should be able to roll it right under. And the 0.25 is the gauge you want to use on the bottom side. If you can barely fit it under there, but if you roll this and it pulls it under, you're good. That one is a bit tight, but we're good. Like it grabs, it's real hesitant. The roller will let it go under, but you can feel the friction, the resistance, where if I just put this one under there, it's just like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. But this one is like a full-size hallway sized hot dog, or better said, a hot dog that's in its bun. It fits in there nicely. Okay, so here we are. Got a bit better of a location for the camera. And so we're gonna do the belts right in the shims. First of all, we've got to grab all these things here and put them in the holes there as they eject material. Dirty material. I'm having second thoughts on. No, not that. It's just I want to clean them first. This magnet just is not cutting it. Get our good magnet. And our air here. And just blast them clean. Freemason conspiracy bullshit. Because I know I got that a bit dirty, so the whole deal here is getting all the shit down. And so, 2 of these at a time. Pretty decent. Actually, it was meant for the other side. Are they supposed to sit that high? I think they are, because Our intake and exhaust sides are different. And then we've got all of our bottoms here. Valve shims and all of our tops here. And you can see the numbers on them. Maybe 225, 220, 217, 200. 216, 216, is that a number? I don't know. Oh, 216. 216, 16, and 200. Let's replace that with the 216. We've got a 215 here. So which one did I not see? Well, that's just a mystery one there. We can put the 200 on here. I think the rest are pretty freaking high. 225. 220 something. 217. Wait, which one was the one on that side? There's a 215. Which we can replace with the 217. Then they'll have better tolerance, I feel. This one's 200, right? $209, $212. That's the 200. 214. Okay, that's how we're gonna do that. I'll come through with the rollers. Instead of sealing it right off the bat, we're gonna actually check the shims. Since we are here, I don't have to just throw it together. I can do this more or less the correct way, which is dirty as fuck and I need to spray. The best way is to line up the I feel like it's upside down. That's because it is. But you have guides on the corner if you don't knock this shit off. But the top corner should have a guide that you can set. Then everything else should pretty much line up. You need to check your timing mark. The bottom, I think, should be the easiest. I think the top's where you have the problem because it has to roll into it and then you have to torque it down to actually stay pointing fairly upwards. After doing this 70,000 times. think I remember what I'm doing. I say that because I don't. Last time I just kind of was like, okay. Okay, I have to pick this up and roll this. To get it to lock down, you have to roll that over, and then you can line up the guides, which they just did. Sort of. But the tension has to push that down. And you cannot check the valves like that. The bottom you can, of course. How am I going to do this? So if I roll it over that way, it's going to pop though. There we go. Are we clear? Those are way fucking off. Ooh, buddy. Who would have thought? Oh, that's because we're not quite lined up. So we can just grab a couple of them for now. Corner it in. Then we have our intake on our exhaust side. That's way off. It's not that bad, but it's not that good either. Okay, so the rear one's probably the closest. Let's get one more in there, just to ensure. So it's not bad, but it could be better. The bottom's perfect. Let me tell you that now. Shit, we could probably even loosen it up, but I'm not so sure about that. This one's good. That one's almost good. First one needs increased. So like 5, 4, 3, 2. That's the wrong one. No wonder it doesn't want to move, because it's never been broke loose. Is something holding it down? No, only my will. I absolutely love how this fuel just leaks out everywhere. I've always dreamed of such things. What do we got here? 200. 100 just does not cut it. There's a 14. Two and 9. Tell me that's 16. I can't see shit. It's a 13. And then a 12. 15. That should be perfect. Now where is our new gaskets? I mean, they're brand new in a case. I think they come in a case of 20, oh no, 10 from the factory. Conversations I recently had with someone about some things that I'm not sure if I should have told them about, but whatever. I mean, they're gonna prosper over it, and that's part of our motto, is prosperity. Because what good is wealth if you can't prosper? Which one do I want to do? I think I've already decided here to do this. Let's just see if we can smooth down a bit, clean it out, whatever. Where is my tools at? I think that's more perfect than I've done it so far. I don't even have to touch it up. You can see the thing here. I didn't need to come up here. How do you like that? I freaking love it. I've never done it like this, so I'm quite fond of it. It looks freaking good to me. Real good. Shims can be put out, that's for sure. And cleared. Now just check your timing before you pick it up, because how many times have we put it on there and F that up? We're looking for our bottom marker. And then our top marker should be locked more or less. And so if I'm just rotating it, it'll get it there in a click or two. But which way do I need to rotate it? There it is. Up. And then we're going to have that issue. Where it has to get pressed down. Put that center one on. It should be easier. Little grab. It doesn't need to be torqued down, but it does need to be put down. Okay, so I pulled something off that should not have been pulled off, huh? That one? Nope. That one. Whoops. It happens to the worst of us. Two more. One. It should be obvious. There's no way that goes in. I think if I pull this down, It might help. Or not. That's what it is. You gotta tension this. We can snug it all down. Right? That way, it's not a real serious issue. Which way do I need to move that? Down, which will bring this down, which means pull that over. The chain is probably the best way to do that. You can actually get a grip on it. Shit, it's not doing nothing. Let's check our alignment here. Let's see how bad that is. I mean, we've technically got a lot of room. Why am I covered in this shit? At this point. Is that one of them? Yes. That's way fucking off, and it's really annoying. Because that's going to cause problems. And it's baking in here. It's so fucking hot. But it has to be to actually be able to get this shit where it needs to be. There it is. Move that over. Put another one in here because it did kind of cross the red. This one. Come on. Something went. I think it was just a shard. Excess. Okay, let's check it. Check these numbers. Torque specs. I'm just putting this on here so it's out of my way. Everything I could ever dream of has been taken away. Yeah. I figured that one would be torqued down already because of the tension on that spot, but I guess not. We're not gonna fucking touch that. It's spinning with no resistance. Tops, middle. Really don't like this one. It is dangerous. I mean, we've got no fucking torque. Oh, it's coming up now. At 3.1. That's all we're getting out. It hit 3.1 and it decided it's done. It's not stretched out. We're gonna put some locker on it. Just as an insurance policy. I think that's sufficient. Camera is heating up. That is correct. What else? We could check those shims, but I think we're there. The crank needs rotated, and this cover needs put on. We're gonna do that cover real quick if we can. And so, technical specs there to cover the cracks, basically. This is all oily. That's a problem. But I think it'll be fine. Jelly. We're almost there. Someone being named Jelly is what that's about. Even though that's not their actual name, it's just what their name sounds like. If by chance you actually are competent enough to understand what the fuck I'm going on about. Okay, now we're done with this one. Unless we just decide to do the front side. It's very much like a drone. I can't believe we made it this far. And the final stretch. If we got the front cover on, then we would be done with the sealant. And then I'm on the debate on whether or not to tear the bottom end out again, but I don't want to. I'm waiting on that phone call to make that kind of decision again. Pretty sure we're done. This one I think is destroyed at this point. There's no number on it, nothing. Well, it's lost as well. And some piss water. I'll put it over there. Okay. We're gonna see what I can get out of this and 5 or 10 minutes before the camera decides to shut itself. We're going to get this on. Then, it's not this, but it's something else. It's 24, right? No. 22, it's gotta be. Okay, and so. Now we can actually get a grip on it, or not. I think that's cylinder pressure noise. Which we're gonna try to help out. That is wrong. It needs to stand straight up and down. Drop some fluid in here. At which point we're not going to rotate it anymore and let that shit seep, fall down the walls, cylinder walls. Where did that wrench go? Maybe we can grab this. How far off is it? This is what we have to do first. So it's pretty close. That's it. Can we get those on? I've totally forgotten about. I didn't fucking buy one. Now I'm gonna have to find it in the basket of things somewhere. Those guides. Are we doing this correctly? I don't fucking know. Oh, they're the same one, no wonder. I thought something was off. Well, here we are. There's that. This one and its seal, which I don't know what size it is. Anyways, the camera's gonna go off when we figure all that out. Well, it looks a lot better, but we got that on. We need a pin to tension it, because you don't need service manual bullshit to be able to actually do this. It's not that difficult. They are reusable, 100%. So we wanted the outside bolt in, nut it on, just to hold it in place, because we don't have a million arms to do so, and so this is best. Then we need a wrench that's reasonable as in the correct size. And it needs to tighten. Not all the way, but enough to where we can clear the seal. Because I can't think for shit. And so to do this, you need to actually open it up. And then you can't move it, but you let it come down one notch and then you can grab it. Where, with your tension down, you should be able to get this nutted, which is why you need this here to be ready to tighten it. Make sure you can loosen it now at this point. Just making sure that that's tension. Loosen it up a bit. Check our fucking O-ring gasket. Make sure it did not get pushed out, because you'll see it roll up if it does. It's tight enough. Okay. I can't believe we're getting the timing already. It's like 90 degrees in here, but it'll cool off at night. So I'd rather keep this up. That way we arrive to that point with it pretty decent in here. Most likely we're going to get to the tensioning. Not tensioning, but front cover. Congratulations. You're the next contestant on Fuck This. Okay, so we have the tension swing arm here, which is upside down. do not have the crank timing set, but the others generally on there. This will have to drop. I'll need that. I need this 22 that just fell. Which has shit all over it now. And now that shit is all over my glove. Which I don't want around here. Trying to get it off the best I can. Oh, that's crank side. It's best to use a ratchet and not an impact on that because we destroyed the other one. Hilarious. Just to think how destroyed that got. It is so crispy on the ground here. So we have to line these marks up. Which should line those marks up. Where's our tool? If we move back some, it really definitely improves the lining. Who would have thought? Oh, I just thought. Get the best view I can now with what I got. Because this is not $1 million garage. Dude, we are tensioned over here. I mean, that's pretty freaking tight. Where's our notch? Which we're chasing. I think we're off. What just happened? It jumped. I think it's not so difficult to fix that though. Our top notch is good. The bottom one is what jumped. So if we remove that tension, there. Make sure we're on our notch. And that's where we should be tightening. Shit, I didn't even need that. The pen. Got it on there without it. This one does not have a gasket, so it's not that big of a deal. What we're looking for are our marks, and then these should line up as well. That's getting annoying. So these two line up, and we want to line up those dots. What if it's out of time and I'm a fucking idiot? Let's verify this. Okay, so confirming this, our notch is pointed towards this point, and this is pointed down left, this one's pointed up right. And then we need to point the crankshaft notch down. And then these will be lined up if timing is correct. So this has to rotate over 180 degrees, which you just kind of throw into, and these are lined up. And these are opposite. On the other side, why don't you just do the timing like this? Whatever. It's not my fucking party. But that's the timing. It says it's good, according to the paperwork. Now we have to deal with the front cover and the gaskets. Let's see, we've got one here, one there, it's on there, one there. They're pretty new too, so I'm not too concerned with them. And then our pickup gasket, which we're gonna silicone, but we have to clean out the fucking tray before we can do anything. So that's a thing. The front cover is not ready. Which is this thing. The debate's on changing out that oil pump, but then it's just like, whatever. It don't even matter. This is pretty dirty. Can I get a freaking handle on this thing? It's so out of balance. Can it fucking go faster? I lost all my air. What we do it like this, at this point, people with their snaking. Let it recharge. We got a cool down period on it. The oil at the bottom of that is just so fucking black. Some fucking hobo that streams in their free time where the best thing we got going on in life is working at McDonald's. Which is better than not. In all honesty, it's substantial. Check our seals. Check this, check that. Move things around so we can not fail. Check our angle, check our lighting. Perfect. Okay, so that's our zoom. This is our not zoom. Okay, our seals are checked. We just put the gasket through there, so we're gonna make sure it's not gonna conflict. That's a fresh seal. And then our seals here. Okay, time to go. Move forward. Okay, main seal. I don't think that those actually fucking matter. Sitting here thinking about it. Because this one clearly will. And the conversation of not ever having any manual labor. Okay, yeah, no one freaking cares. That's good. We're 100% on that. I do want to touch these. Then our top corner, that one's good. And then this one. So we're gonna start. It's funny because all the homeless people want to move out to fucking California. And it's not like my first experience here in the world. And so I'm pretty well familiar with these places and things. California's like that fat kid everyone likes to make fun of, and no one actually helps. In reality, because people, it's the tantalizing thing to do, to be part of the in crowd and not part of the solution, despite whether what's right or wrong. That's just the way it goes. It's the nature of animals, survival, and all of that. Because it's better them than it is you. Because standing out is more risky than fitting in. And like, it's not a debate, it's not a discussion, that's actually the way it is. There's no way to escape it, there's no way around it. And so people make the decision to be a part of that or not. And here I fucking am. Oh man, that's a challenge. I may have to adjust that here or there to actually get it on right. Don't fuck up. You want a smooth, seamless process. Oh my gosh. We're closing the case today. I can't believe it. I was not expecting to do this. I was like, one day we're going to do the head, the next day we're going to do the timing, the next day we're going to do the seals. Those batteries really don't last like they used to. Okay, there's a box with all of them in it. It's covered with a rag. Got our tins over here. Yeah, that relationship fell apart between a certain someone and a certain someone else. And it is obvious. Okay, let's put the big ones in. What size is this? The 13, I'm thinking. I can't remember. Corner pieces. Pretty sure it's a 13. No one fucking cares. If the light's gonna shut off, then shut off. The flashing's annoying more than anything. There's definitely two of them right here. They're absolutely fucking homeless for sure though. Okay, dude, you're fucking beyond annoying. Especially in today's economy. Most likely, they're barely struggling to get by, and you can tell because it's blatantly obvious. There's just certain things people do, or other dynamics that make it apparent. It's unfortunate because they're most likely involved in criminal activity as well. And it goes hand in hand. People that are struggling have a tendency to involve in things that they should not be involving in. And most people go to prison, and it's hard to get out of that cycle of bad shit because they don't know how to survive. But other people's life is not my responsibility. I have a hard enough time. Let alone babysitting other people. They should be fucking adults. They shouldn't have to be babysat because they refuse to be adults. But that's just part of the world we live in. It's just another day of the same shit. Same conversation that we have about the same people. Even if you try to be nice to them or whatever, then they're the same characters that always are that want to take advantage of nice people for their own personal gains. And then there we are, dealing with the geopolitics, domestic geopolitics. And the rich get richer, and the poor keep getting poorer. Is that all of them? I do want to check the torque specs. It's the same fucking shit. No matter what. So, be who you're gonna be. That doesn't make a difference. No one gives a shit anyways. Can that check torque specs? And here I thought I was done. It should work, but who freaking knows? Yeah, but it's kind of annoying. I don't want to use this. It's just not as easy as a breaker bar. Damn it. Eight or nine. 9. That's fine. 8 or 9. Eight or 9. Shit, we're on there. You know what that means? Time to get down on it. Our bucket's empty. You know what that means? Oil or not? I feel like it. But then again, the heat, and whether or not that heat will escape. This is what I really need to do here. I need to leverage that forward. What size was this? That's what size it is. It's funny because just the way someone talks, you can hear what they're meaning and where that information's coming from. I never thought I'd see the day. Like people talk bad about whoever, someone, and it's like clear who's the person that's doing it, and they're too stupid to have the slightest clue. But I don't hang out with these people. I don't know these people, and nor am I any part of their world. I need to move it forward somehow. There it is, but whether or not this is going to go on. Yep, we got it. Enough to tighten it down. The rails getting tightened. What I do need to do are these. Which whatchamacallit? Where is it? For the pump. Oh. I'm so fucking lucky, I swear. My life is just extraordinary. How many times I dodge some sort of bullshit. Well, I guess when you're taught to avoid some stuff. Avoid people, places, or whatever. And you actually discover that it's beneficial to avoid certain people or places or things. The worst part is finding out the hard way in your obliviousness of youth. Everyone's not your friend. So, where's this freaking pump at? I know what it looks like in my mind, but I don't know where it's at in reality. Honestly, it needs to be over here, but it's not. Discover it. And I still have to deal with that freaking wiring. Okay. Where in the fuck is this? It has to be found before I can move forward. There it is. I'm a freaking idiot. Sitting right fucking there. So we have to line up the pin and rotate it. The pin's on the bottom, and that's polar to that. Give me it. Fuck. Where's that bottle? Does that matter which way it's facing? So that's loose enough. You know, I never talk about how great this engine is. Because in reality, there are so many modern conveniences with this fucking engine that gets overlooked because of the challenges with it. I mean, in reality, how convenient everything is located and accessible. And there's a lot of good things about the engine that modern considerations went into. The worst part is just getting to the heads. Just gonna check the port crossing. Dressers here. And make sure we're good. I'm sure that's fine at this point. It's not doing anything else. So seals are done. We can stop at this point. Because it needs to seal up. And so there's no rush. Give it plenty of time to actually set. Actually move it. I don't know if it matters which way we're leaned. I think that's good. Yeah, it's practically ready.